and welcome to the ACC Championship post-game show here. It is after 1 a.m. We've just been through a Dabo Swinney press conference, which those of you who cover Dabo know that those last a long time, though. But we have been to what was the best or top conference championship game in America. You had the #1 team in the country playing the #10 team in the country, and we saw a good ball game tonight.
Hey, we certainly did there, Coach. And I tell you what, we had a packed house, literally speaking, didn't we? Over 74,000 people here.
Largest crowd. It was a sellout, and it was hard to get into the stadium with all the people outside, though. I think they had overflow of 40 media people that did not have a seat, had to kind of jockey for positions, though. But again, outstanding game tonight. When it was all said and done, the Clemson Tigers were able to hang on and hold off a furious North Carolina rally.
Hey, you're absolutely right. I tell you what, we saw some great play from those Tigers, didn't we? We're watching, he shows why he's the most valuable player, like Player of the Year, and Gallman and just the entire Clemson team. When the going got tough, hey, the tough got going.
We are standing right now in the North Carolina end zone, a place that they would love to have been one more time. That they got the game down, I believe it was 42-37. Onside kick, recovered it, but flag on the play. Larry Fedora was very bold in his statement and said they were not offsides on the play. It would have been interesting if North Carolina hadn't got the ball back one more time to see what would happen.
Hey, you're right there, Coach. But, in the end there, you got to go by what the officials say. And I'd like to, compliment the Tar Heels. I tell you what, they showed a lot of fight tonight, and they never gave up.
At halftime, there was an argument on who had the dumbest plays in the first half. North Carolina went for 2 early in the game, which was a very questionable call. Then Clemson comes up with a fake punt, which Dabo Swinney said he doesn't know what in the world happened, because all they did was call for the punter to roll to his right to kick the ball. Well, he thinks he's going to be Aaron Rodgers back there and try to throw the ball, which completely turned the game. It gave North Carolina an easy field, short field to drive and score, and gave them the lead that time, though. But it was kind of funny. I have never seen Dabo go ballistic like that before with a player.
Hey, he certainly did. He said he was showing him a lot of love. I tell you what, there's a lot of compassion being shown toward that young man.
Well, there was a lot of something being shown right there, though. But he said that they had no fake punt call for all of you fans out there that were wondering why in the world. But we were having an argument on who had the dumbest plays or the dumbest call in the first half, though. Then, to make matters worse, in the second half, here comes North Carolina on a fake punt. On 4th and 12 in their own territory, Larry Fedora confessed that they did call the punt and fake punt and just did not execute it. Said it was set up perfect, it was there, but the bottom line on that was the Lord giveth, the Lord taketh away. Right. They give the ball for a short field for Clemson, they go down and score. Hey,
that's correct there, Coach. And after it's all been said and done, hey, the Tigers 45, the Tar Heels 37.
So, again, great game tonight. We knew coming in this game that it was like last night. One of the ACC legends from North Carolina said, I can promise you right now that it's not going to be a 7-3 game. We knew this one was going to come down to being a high-scoring game, and a lot of people predicted the last team to have the ball would win, and the last person to have the ball was Clemson, who recovered the second onside kick, but not after. We had to go through under further review to make sure they got that. They were able to run the clock out.
You're right there, Coach. And I tell you what, it certainly was an offensive mind game, because I believe the Tigers, they accumulated over 600 yards, didn't they?
And over 400 of those were Deshaun Watson, who was the MVP.
Hey, I tell you what, he had a great performance. And when the going gets tough, he gets going. And Coach, it's amazing, when Mo's on his side, how beautiful those passes are and complete, because he got running backs to run that football, and he's got receivers to catch it. They're in good shape right now.
Well, the thing about them, like Larry Fedora said, they spread the field, and you have to cover the receivers, and they've got 2 excellent running backs with Watson and Gallman in the backfield. And congratulations to Wayne Gallman tonight on becoming the first Clemson Tiger to have over 8 100-yard rushing games this year, though. And there's been some good backs come through Clemson, over the years have gone and played the NFL, so that's a big accomplishment for Gallman.
Hey, you're absolutely right there, Coach. Being 2 old basketball coaches, we can see a lot of basketball goes into football too, just like in basketball. If if you just get in the paint, hey, you guys, they're going to clog it up. You got to have some outside shooting and inside. And just like passing, running and passing, same thing goes for that too.
Well, what I was getting back to what I originally was saying before I got off track was Clemson can spread you out, and they've got good enough backs that if you don't line up in the right gap, and again, like Fedora said, if you miss a tackle, it's going to be a big play for them, and they can gouge you with big runs. And, you know, the scary thing is that those two backs in the backfield are only sophomores.
Hey, that's correct. And, you know, the Tigers, they got a lot of people coming back, and some people say, you know, you may be too young this year, but, hey, they're proving people wrong there because 13-0.
And, you know, the thing about it, too, is they've got a lot of young players, and people say, they'll make the jump to the pros. They can't. They're only sophomores.
Right.
That they played a lot. I think they played 40 freshmen last year and played a lot of kids that are only sophomores, so they can't make the jump to the league. They've got to come back for at least one more year next year. So this is a team that ran the table, went 13-0 this year. How scary can it be next year?
Hey, you're right there, Coach. How many they say they won in a row now? Is it
They've won 16 games in a row now. 13-0 right now.
That's right.
And I think when Clemson won the national championship before, I believe they were either 12-0 or they said maybe 13-0 when they won
it. That's right, 13-0.
But now
that's where it was then.
You got to win 15, and that's their goal, is to be the first team to ever go 15-0.
That's right.
That they will be in the Orange Bowl in a semifinal game now, and we saw the field get bombarded with oranges. We did not get hit, and I swore that if somebody hit me with an orange, I was going to throw it back and hit them back there, though. But thank goodness.
It's been easy to do. All those people that was over there, a lot of orange up here.
There was a lot of orange juice on the field with crushed oranges, though.
Right, yep.
But, you know, again, remarkable right there. And again, I'm a Gamecock graduate, but I've got to give the Tigers credit. When you can come out week in and out and win 13 games in a row, and, you know, you think, it's like Dabo was saying, there's some other good teams that are not undefeated right now. You're entitled to have a bad day, but this team's had a good day every time they've come out and found a way to win.
Hey, you're right there, and they take every game serious, because like Dabo said, you know, everybody's saying, you know, trap game, this and that, but they're taking business now, on the two more wins away.
Well, we got a pretty good feeling right now. Clemson will be in. Alabama won. They will be in. Oklahoma pretty much did not have a game, I think, left to play.
They didn't have
so they're
one.
Probably in. And it'll be curious to see now who the final team was in. Right now, I think Iowa was the team that was looking. It was number 4 this past week. Number 5 was Michigan State, but Michigan State beat them 16-13.
That's right. I look for Michigan State to be the 4th team. And in regards to that 1 and 2, Coach, hey, the jury's still out. How the committee going to look at it?
We think alike, because right there was a lot of discussion with the committee, and they had to re-vote 2 or 3 times this past week that on who to put Clemson at first, number 1, Alabama number 2. Well, Alabama won by double digits today. I think they won 29-15 over Florida.
Right.
Clemson doesn't really cover the spread tonight, I don't think. That they have a close game tonight with that right there, though. Who will be number 1? Will Clemson go in at number 1 for the playoffs, or will they go in for number 2? What do you think?
Coach, I'll be honest with you. I think Tigers should be number 1, because they've been winning most of the year, and they haven't been defeated yet. So I would go with them, and I'd probably go Bama, and then Oklahoma, and then Michigan State.
So does it really matter at this point? I think what really matters is you're one of the Final 4, and of who the matchups are going to be, regardless of who you play. You're going to be playing somebody who's pretty doggone good if they're in the top 4.
I guarantee they're going to be good. You're absolutely right. It's a game of survival from here on out.
It was funny in the postgame. Dabo walked in wearing a number 100 Sweeney on the back. It was his 100th game coaching at Clemson. I can remember back, I was there covering the game when they defeated South Carolina, which clinched him taking the interim title off his job, and have stepped up, and seeing him go there, though. But, he said that was a proud moment, and I think it was kind of a touching moment, too. The question was asked, about missing his father and all that. He said his father was probably looking down from heaven right now, really excited about, what was going on, and probably was leading all the Tiger fans in heaven and cheering.
That's right. That was a good question. Even Dabo said, it was a good question, and asked him, he feel like his father's spirit still with not only him, but the entire Clemson family and nation.
It'll be interesting now. The regular season's over with. Will Deshaun Watson, will he be one of the 3 in New York for the Heisman naming next week? Will he be the guy? who wins the Heisman. I think it's probably down between him and Henry from Alabama.
Probably Derrick Henry. That's correct there.
So, who was your bet?
I think in the long run, probably Derrick Henry.
Again, Derrick Henry today, I think, had 42 carries for 199 yards.
Second straight game was occurred over 40-plus carries.
But you got to look at it. I think this is the second straight game that Watson's accumulated over 400 total yards, passing and running there too. Ought to be an interesting race.
Hey, it will. No, we'll see what happens next. I believe it's next Saturday night, I believe.
Yes, it is. It'll be in New York, though.
Right.
Well, I tell you, I've had a lot of fun for ACC weekend.
It's been enjoyable.
I got a day head start on you that I got to come last night to the ACC Legends Night and Award Ceremony. Had a great meal there and got to see the ACC Legends last night. People like Tony Dorsett, Warwick Dunn that played at Florida State, played in the NFL, Clinton Portis that played right there, and one of our we're both Spartan High alumnus. We had one of them last night, Anthony Simmons, who played linebacker at Spartanburg High School. The first game I ever broadcast was color commentating when he won the state championship in Clemson against the Norman Cavaliers that day. That he went on was an outstanding legend at Clemson and then in the NFL, though. So, it was a great night last night getting to do this, and I had so much fun I came back and did it again tonight.
Yeah, that's right. Hey, and I certainly enjoyed this evening. Being an old Clemson alumni, it's good to see those Tigers.
Well, my hats off go to the people at ACC. They put on a first-class event. Again, Belk's sponsored the banquet last night, so we appreciate all the people with the Belk Bowl who put on the big event last night, though. But, the ACC people, I think I've had the opportunity of covering this game for several years. Great job of covering it. The field looks good. It's late at night right here, though. But, again, I appreciate all that they do to make this, again, I think one of the premier championship games in the
and I
football.
tell you what there, Coach, I think it's growing more and more each year, too. Hey, this is a great venue for a championship in the ACC.
And I can honestly say I have covered the SEC championship game in the Georgia Dome, and they do a great job. But the ACC does not have to take a back seat to anybody. They do a great job of putting on their bowl game up here. And like I say, I like the banquet the night before. The SEC didn't do that down there, though, but I like that touch right there that I got to see. Dabo Swinney got the Coach of the Year. Watson got the offensive or an overall player of the year, a young man from Duke who we had a chance to talk to, who was one of the defensive backs, got the Thorpe Award, and also got the another award there too. And when his playing days are over, he's planning on being an FBI man.
That's right. And those few days just seemed like yesterday up in Pinehurst. Now, season about over with. Well, it is over for quite a few teams, with the exception of the Clemson Tigers.
Well, Coach Toney, I want to tell you this right here too. We had a lot of fun, and we were right there, and that's why it was fitting that we got to be here when they all were talking with us back at Pinehurst about the upcoming season. Two of the coaches we got to talk with and interview were Larry Fedora and Dabo Swinney. And it's kind of interesting. Those were the two last standing here today. But it was fun to get to see the beginning of this picture when everything started, football season started for the ACC at Pinehurst, to be here tonight and wrap up the ACC season.
I tell you what, that year's flown by, hadn't it, Coach? Hey, we don't have many more weeks to go, and it will have flown by.
And it's time for us to crank up with some ACC basketball now.
There you go.
We look forward to that, though. Well, he's the Coach Barry Toney. I'm the Coach Dick Cox. Again, our final score tonight, he's the Clemson grad. I'm going to let him give you that score.
Hey, Clemson Tigers 45, Tar Heels 37.
And again, we enjoyed bringing you every minute of it tonight. We'll be back a little later on with some bowl season stuff and some of the other football. But until then, happy holidays. Good night, everybody.
Good evening.